The story begins with a man waking up on the cold, cracked surface of what was once a familiar world. His breathing is shallow, and his thoughts are a blur as he takes in the desolation around him. The sky above is a grotesque mixture of ash and sickly green hues, and the air is heavy with the smell of decay. He doesn't remember how he got here or who he is. The only thing he knows is that he's alone, or at least, he thinks he is. As he starts to walk, his surroundings feel hostile, almost alive. The ground beneath his feet is brittle, breaking apart into sharp fragments with every step. Buildings in the distance are barely standing, their silhouettes warped as if twisted by an invisible hand. Strange noises, faint whispers and distant echoes, seem to follow him, though he can't see their source. He mutters to himself, trying to make sense of it all. Is this real? A dream? Or something worse? He finds a small, decrepit building and decides to search for clues. Inside, the air is cold, and shadows seem to stretch and move unnaturally. On a table, he discovers a small tape recorder, dust covering its surface. Hesitant, he presses play, and a distorted voice crackles through. The experiment failed. It's all collapsing. Don't trust what you see. The tape ends abruptly, leaving him with more questions than answers. As he continues exploring, fragments of memories begin to surface in his mind. They are disjointed and unclear, flashes of people in lab coats, a machine humming with power, and someone whispering, "You are the key." He tries to grasp the meaning, but the memories slip away like sand through his fingers. His journey takes him deeper into the remnants of the world, where reality itself seems to be unraveling. The environment changes unpredictably. One moment, he's walking through ruins, the next, he's in an endless field where the grass glows faintly under a darkened sky. Time feels warped, hours stretch into eternity, or perhaps mere seconds. Then, he begins to sense it. At first, it's subtle, the prickling feeling of being watched. But it grows stronger with every step. He hears footsteps that don't match his own, faint breathing just beyond the edge of his hearing. He turns quickly, but there's nothing there. Or is there? Shadows move in the corners of his vision, vanishing the moment he tries to focus on them. The tension reaches its peak when he enters a labyrinthine structure, a building that seems to expand and shift with every turn. The walls pulse faintly, as if alive, and strange symbols glow faintly along the surfaces. He finds another mirror, cracked but intact enough to reflect his face. This time, his reflection doesn't match his movements. It smiles at him, a slow, sinister grin that chills him to the bone. "Who are you?" he whispers, but the reflection doesn't answer. Instead, it points behind him. He spins around, and for the first time, he catches a glimpse of it, the entity that's been following him. It's not something he can describe fully. Its form shifts constantly, a mass of shadows, light, and something else entirely, something incomprehensible. It doesn't attack, but its presence is overwhelming, pressing down on him like an unbearable weight. He runs. The corridors twist and collapse around him, forcing him into a frenzied escape. When he finally bursts outside, the world has changed again. The sky is fractured, revealing voids of endless blackness between the cracks. He sees glimpses of other places, other realities, through those fissures, each one more horrifying than the last. Then he hears it, a voice in his mind, calm but authoritative, "You cannot escape." He falls to his knees, clutching his head as memories flood back all at once. He was part of something, a project meant to explore the boundaries between dimensions. But something went wrong, terribly wrong. The barriers between worlds collapsed, and now he's caught in the aftermath. As he struggles to process this, the entity appears again, but this time, it doesn't remain distant. It towers over him, its form more defined but still shifting, its voice resonating inside his skull. "You are the key." This is not the end, it is the beginning. Before he can respond, the ground beneath him crumbles. He falls into an abyss of light and darkness, spinning endlessly. When he finally stops, he's back at the start, lying on the cracked surface of the world, the sky a grotesque mixture of ash and green. He stands up, confused but determined. He begins to walk, and the cycle starts again. The camera fades to black as his voice echoes faintly, "Is this real? A dream? Or something worse?"